So when people are under pressure, they're trying to be productive and meet deadlines. How is it that human-centric leading can help?
A good question. Okay. When we focus on efficiency and we mechanize humans so that we're working in certain hours, where every minute has to be the same level of efficiency, and when we try to mechanize humans, we burn ourselves out really. And that's not effective. So you can't get much out of that. If you fuel humans with what we need, rest, food, breaks, respect, treating each other with respect, time to think instead of having to react to something, then we become more efficient because we're more rested, because we feel good with each other. We're focused on what needs to happen instead of focused on maybe defending against someone's criticism or curt behavior toward us, right? So let's say we're in this Friday deadline again. We're all stressed out. We're all tired. We're kind of fed up because we've been on this project for a while and we're so excited for it to be finished and we want to finish it well. Maybe we haven't been working smoothly for months. Maybe we've had some curt, interactions or expressions to each other. Maybe we've been very critical. We blamed each other. So we already have these feelings that we harbor. And with the leave the emotions at the door idea, we don't use this emotion as data. The emotions tell us something is out of balance, either out of something's not fair or something's really out of balance. And so if we took 10 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, using human-centric leading and say, okay, what do we each need to feel good and do our best today? 10 minutes. If people did that every day, all the things that come up would be expressed and resolved. It doesn't mean going into therapy and talking about everyone's emotions forever. It means, let's say I'm angry. I'm angry on the team. Anger is not coming out of nowhere. Anger is relative to something that's unfair or a boundary that's been needed. And so if I say, every time I come up with a question about this statistic, nobody answers me. I feel like that's critical to the success of the project. If I'm heard and I get the information I need to assuage my anger, but also it's for something, it's not randomly, I'm not randomly emotional, then I can feel good and feel heard, but also feel good about my own analysis. Like, okay, I need to check that statistic and you have the data. If we collaborated around that, I'd feel better and I can just focus on doing my best. If I'm worried about that, a lot of my energy is going there. Like, what if that's the only thing that brings a lawsuit? Or what if it's that piece of data that undermines our whole project? Because maybe we do a project on statistics or a business case. What if that worry will linger? Why bother? What for? The worries and the emotions are worth something. So human-centric leading basically says, okay, people are logical, people are emotional, people need rest, people need interaction and being treated with respect. So we need certain things, certain ingredients, so to speak, in a context to bring up our best. And when we have those, we work very effectively and efficiently in the end. So we'll get better outcomes if we focus on what makes us feel good so that we can focus on the real issues instead of make us defensive and then make it much harder to get things done in a beautiful and elegant way.
Well, that sounds terrific. That sounds like the team is running smoothly. They are, because they trust each other and they feel comfortable to talk about what is getting in their way, what they need, what they can contribute. I'm wondering, though, how much of that responsibility falls on the individual team members or the leader.
It's everyone.
So is human-centric leading is a leading mechanism that everyone can
use? Yes. We say leaders because I'm trying at least to redefine what leaders are and what leadership is. We can no longer depend on the hierarchical definition of leader that the person who's at the head of an organization knows everything. There's too much information out there. There's too much change. The hierarchy, the patriarchy, these big systems are crumbling. And now each one of us has really to take responsibility and accountability for our experience, but also to co-create together. If one person could solve things, they would have. Look at our leaders in position power. The problems are too big. They're global. They're complex. So we each now have to take responsibility, but also empower ourselves. It's also power to feel like I, from any place in an organization, can share my idea. Remember, even if we search on the internet, your search and my search is going to be different. What if I can access data you don't, just because of the search engines, right? So we each can access different information, different data, we have different experiences, and we each can say, okay, if I'm a leader, what does leading mean? Leading means influencing others around a common goal, hopefully a meaningful goal, where we create something together than we could individually. And so imagine if we're all leaders, right? Imagine if we don't need to dominate, we can partner together. We don't need to lead over someone, we lead with people. And so each person on the team can then become a human-centric leader. So let's say you're my boss, and then you're, very upset, you were in traffic, something bad happened with your child, and you're very upset. I can help you. Maybe, I can help you talk through, what do you need right now to feel better, to do your best? What needs to happen? And even if it's outside of work, it's something with your child we could talk about it and we could help each other. It doesn't have to be only certain topics. It could be, we could decide together. But it's anyone can help anyone get more centered, calm down, feel better, focus on what needs to happen versus be distracted about things that are happening, on the sideline of our minds. So it's an empowering mindset, and it's a way for us all to take part in the change that really needs to happen in our lives, in our organizations, in our societies today.